Might help if I unmuted things, wouldn't it? Okay. We should be good on all fronts. Let me double check just to make sure. Yippee! Okay. How do you get great? Play gooder. Problem solved. Also, apologies. You're still dealing with congested dunce. Trees have not given up their fight just yet. Oh boy. Let me make the funny pre-event lobby. And have my pawns entertain chat for me while I actually get the matchups up, because... Whoops. Okay. We'll see how this goes, I guess. Now, you'll see nothing. All my homies hate allergies. ASMR is ASMR is fun. Hello, Eachman. Okay. Let's see if I can play this game today. And I guess we'll have to see if we can get some good matches for a couple of these gamers. Wait, no, that's not the team. I wanted to play Team Hydra. Whatever. I hit the wrong button. Nope, no, like, okay, I cannot avoid that. Tags. Oh, connect person. On it. That sing doesn't come out in time? Oh. I'm gonna just... That's not an air though. Plus. Oh, this is sketchy. What? Right, I forgot I could just do sing, call assist and sing. And chip you out. Oh boy, how to practice with butchers. I have not played with butchers in a while. Let's do this. Brass gaming.
Come at me. Let's finish this.
That sucks. Betrayed. Are you serious? No. Okay. Patron. Just stay on the ground, I guess. Yeah, what funny.
Let's go, freak show.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Attack. I swear I attacked that, but okay. That's not what I meant. Where did I come from? I should have done BFF instead of Fireball Super, but nope. Yeah. This doesn't kill. I'm gonna lose my mind. I didn't get my dash up. Oh my god, Nomley. I just get a pass after you see. Okay. That really beat that? That sucks. Chip out. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Oh, pain. You can block that cross, or does it just not cross? It's not brass. Wait, that works on Big Bad? Is that like the only character that worked on? What did I just do? I did the wrong ender. Brain. That would have been fine if I DHC'd early too.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Really? I didn't want that recall anyway. I'm gonna lose my lines, whatever. Right, I run Axe with this team. Forgot. That's not enough. Really? Okay, I can't finish a combo with this character. Oh, I knew you were jumping too. I'm so sad that didn't. Wah. Good morning, Aki. There we go. Baomir.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
That's just. You know? Fair enough. Is this supposed to reset? I didn't get my throw. Oh. Actually, you don't need to spend 2, do you? No, you need to spend it all. What did I just do? That's not enough. Oh, that's a trade of all time. Ow. You dropped this, right? For the one time? I really thought you'd respect the mash. Oh. I thought you knew I always level 3 there, so I decided not to. Oh, okay. I want to play Below.
Can't turn down a fan.
You know what?
Certainly.
Let's do this.
Egrets, get ready. Can't turn down a fan.
That's not remember how to play this character at all. Okay, it's gonna be great.
Everybody mind your marks. Action.
Ah, you can come back, yes. Oh, that sucks. Roll back into that jump forward on my screen. Drop these? That's not projectile. Really? That one with her? How did that item drop whiff? I'm so confused. Okay,
We're gonna get you. Can't turn down a fan.
why is this hype?
The wolf is coming back to New Meridian. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Right, I forgot to use that. I needed to use Light Kick. What a trade. You recover faster? Or was that just slow? I'm dead. If you're greedy, or if you're not greedy. Yeah, okay. No. I was in boxing for so long. Yeah. That's not my launcher. Pop, pop, pop. Ah. Okay, I didn't actually spend it. Oh, I should have gone for the armored one. Footsies. Whoops. Okay, I gotta get the actual event going. In terms of, yeah, Flank is the newest high-profile Eliza. I'm trying to think. Mies is quote-unquote trying to pick her up, but it's just a Philia player who is looking for alts because it's a Philia player. Yeah. Not many Eliza believers, unfortunately. Which is unfortunate. Because she's honestly good, especially with teams built around her. Also just knowledge checks people. A lot of people just randomly have Eliza problems, which I find hilarious. Fortune Eliza Para is a really good team. Fortune with L-Shot and like Fullbleed's playing that team. I have that team as an alt. Like that team is really good. Oh yeah, you did too. I forgot about that. The Fortune days. I mean, both assists are really good for that team. Honestly, I don't know. L-Shot feels like it has a higher ceiling, but Pillar is just a good assist. Like, it's hard to go wrong taking Napalm Pillar. I couldn't find ways to make Fortune... Do you mean on block or on hit? I couldn't find anything I really liked off of DP plus Pillar on hit. Granted, I'm an awful labber, so that's not saying anything. But, like, just... On block, yeah, okay. On hit, I was looking at it, like, this is like a height Fortune loves messing with people with, but I couldn't figure it out. I really wanted to get some like sketchy mix going, but I just couldn't ever piece it together. Okay. First things first, we have a beginner lobby. So if there's anyone in chat who's a beginner, or maybe, just maybe, like the very start of intermediate, feel free to hop in and help. Otherwise, it might just be the tried and true host lesson. Okay. Okay, when it's... doesn't seem like anyone's here for this. Wait, can I not read? I really read that as Torn and not Tom. Oh my god. Oh, I'm illiterate. Okay. Fixing that. How did I... Oh man. Alright. Okay. Yeah, we're good to go. I'll kind of run through... talk through a couple important things about the game. Figure out what sort of pace you're playing at, your understanding, your comfortability, and give you things to work on from there. That's
Running line.
Egrets, get ready.
what I had wanted to do.
On guard.
So, kind of just gonna lightly zone and see what your neutral choices are. You're trying to get in spacing. And get your zoning out. Like a lot of what I see. You feel comfortable with a decent amount of your ranges. Cancel that a little too early. Aggressive out of the corner, canceling that overhead a little too early to reload consistently. That's This matchup is also just kind of annoying for Dahlia. Be a little bit careful with those jump heavy kicks, especially when you're going forward. Because doing it while moving forward leaves them liable to this. But that situation is like perfect. Can I have a feel for your understanding? Throw. The throw confirms. Gotta keep track of your ammo. Reload. What do you do on hit? Looks like you've got pretty close to a full combo. The throw confirmed just yet. If you're reloading in a little bit of unsafe situations, you almost have that confirmed. I love to see that already. Full route. With meter spin? Oh, sweep only works with OTG. I'm assuming that was an accidental input. You bursting? A little bit. I like the patience. You just weren't aware. Yep. And C4 confirm. Okay, sick. So I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing in terms of like understanding. You feel pretty comfortable in movement. I like a good amount of the buttons you're pressing. You're pressing heavy kick a little close to me at times, and you're reloading a little close to me at times. So that's always something to worry about. But these are kind of getting a bit more into intermediate thought processes already, so you're kind of close. How do you deal with me just running at you to the corner? Yep, throw. Oh! Full combo? No assault. Yeah, I gotta keep track of your bullets. They change things, it's hard. I do very much like that you're not bursting. That is a good habit to already be in as a beginner. Oh, whoops. That was a good bend. Okay, now we're pressing a little bit more. It's one of the things I wanted to test here. Just how much he burst. Oop. You weren't pressing it, so that's good. Really good block on that overhead. Oh my god. Oh, that's unsafe. I missed the punish. Oops. Be very careful going this far on top. Like, I'm not doing too much about it right now, but going that far in your block strings, and again, reloading that close, is dangerous. There we go. So, common things we tend to talk about in the beginner are going to be keeping your block strings safe. Keeping the block string safe essentially means don't end in something that gets you hit if your opponent blocks it. And so that means ending on any of your heavies, you're going to get hit. Ending on the empowered grab is going to get you hit. And depending on the bullet, certain bullets are either unsafe or at least minus, and so you kind of concede your turn. Now that's getting a little bit into the details with it. Are we bursting? We are still bursting. So like there, it is no longer your turn after that. Which is why that habit's a little dangerous to get into. Right, I can use much as this. Oh! Do you have a full Lizzie combo? Nice. That's another reason you should be careful about going too far in options. We still bursting? We are still bursting. So that's just an example of why it is important to be patient. You will take a lot of damage. And again, be careful about reloads in front. Okay, so reloads like that, really scary. I know you kind of need the bullets, but you have to be able to keep your character safe. When you have assists, you get to be a little bit more greedy with it. But for now, when you're just running the Block Dahlia by herself, it kind of is what it is. So, you already blocked a 4 heavy kick. I'm gonna be a little bit more aggressive and just see how you deal with like high-low. If I don't get hit trying to do it. We have setups? Oh, that was a good first block. And don't feel bad, blocking this is hard. Like genuinely, this is how I play this character versus top tier players. But it is something you'll need to get used to. Throw teching, however, is something that you need to be aware of. So again, any of those shots on block is like -3. The short of it is I can act faster than you, which means if I do anything, like I just block it. Oop. That's what I would say. Again, I could have hit you there if I didn't get my dash, or if I did get my dash. So yeah, it's my turn, you have to kind of block there. Okay, this last one I'm going to be a bit more aggressive with my zoning and just see how comfortable you feel mobility-wise dealing with some parasol projectiles. And then I'll kind of wrap up my thoughts at the end in a more cohesive conclusion than just seeing things as we're playing. But I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing. A way around L shot. How do you deal with them shot mixed in? It's I know it's hard for your character. Love that. The patience, that's exactly what I wanted to see. Where you're reacting to what's happening. Don't do the shot. Actually, I think that one might be plus on block, so you're fine. Honestly, what you just did right there, even though you blocked a lot of them, you push blocked me to the corner, so you still kind of achieved your goal. That is a very good response to zoning. Again, because Dahlia kind of struggles to get around these sometimes. Okay. Oh, that's a combo. I do kind of want to recommend you learning a B&B that doesn't involve the barrel. And if you do know one, that's more than fine. And you just recognized you have the meter to spend it, it's good. But if that's the only one you really commonly do, it's dangerous. 'Cause sometimes you won't have the board. So yeah, after that shot specifically, plus. Good time. So you know a lot of the basics of this game. You know about throw teching. I think you know about bursting, and you just started doing it a little bit more towards the end. That's kind of something you just get patience towards dealing. But to kind of go through a checklist of the main things I kind of want to talk about. So to fully iterate on the point about staying safe on block, pretty much all of your heavies are going to get you hit if you end your block string with them. Some of your specials, so your reload will get you hit for it. Your empower on block, the hit grab, will get you hit for it. Your shots, actually I'll pull up the wiki here. Shots will not get you hit, but it's still not an ideal outcome. Because if people are aware, can I find what I'm looking for? If people are aware, they'll know it is not your turn and they can fight back. And you kind of need to concede and either take a risk or just block. These are not actually as minus as they used to be. I think this changed. But they are still minus. So it keeps you safe, but it's not an ideal situation. So we highly recommend, it's hard, but we recommend you try to hit confirm. We try to react to the fact you've gotten the hit on your medium button. Dahlia can get a little bit of leeway with it, but overall, we still leave that as a recommendation, especially for beginners trying to figure out how to keep themselves safe. It's a really good habit to be able to get into, to kind of go train yourself to look for like 2 or 3 hits, or well, 2 or 3 hits either on block or hit, and use that time to react to continue through with your combo or stop and prevent yourself from being in a dangerous situation. So that is the main thing about going on block. Again, you were kind of going into shot almost every single time, which on top of being minus leaves you open to intermediate mechanics further down that I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole, but just trust me when I say it's sketchy. The next thing is bursting. You're bursting a bit. Parasol's kind of deceptive with where and when she can burst, so if you're not used to that, I understand. But I was kind of just testing to see where you'd push buttons while you're getting hit. But overall, you're pretty good about being patient. You teched throws once I started doing them on repeat, so it's like you are aware, you understand how that interaction works, and you honestly adapted pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie, I might not tech that third one that you did. Very happy to see that. And then I think the final biggest one is going to be, again, your combos. So understanding your shots mess up things if they're special, and that's kind of just, you'll pick that up as you continue to play the character. It's hard to keep track of all of that while you're doing everything else in the game. And if you do have a route without a barrel as part of it, I never saw it. So if you do not have one, recommend you learn it. If you have it and you have multiple routes, you're honestly ahead of the curtain in that regard for beginners. So I liked a lot of what I was seeing. The two biggest things are going to be think about on block and think about on and just ironing out combos a little bit more, paying a bit more attention to what bullets are coming up and if that'll mess you up. If you don't feel comfortable playing versus players in open lobbies a lot, which I think you said you did, or if they're not available, bots are always a good option, especially to kind of get that just game awareness of really being used to getting the hit and then checking everything of importance, what bullets I have loaded, how much meter I have, and you kind of just slowly build all that in just by playing more. Yeah, beyond that, tiny things were more spacing and matchup dependent, which is getting into intermediate territory, but you're close, honestly, so I'm going to touch on them a little bit, which again is the jump heavy kick, especially when you're moving forward. Be a little careful about that, because if you get dead zoned, you're in a bad spot. And if you recognize you're going to get dead zoned, if you can cancel as fast as possible into the L shot, that is kind of how you try to salvage that situation. Sometimes you're just dead anyways. You were... No, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I think that's going a bit too in-depth. Those are my biggest things. The two big pillars, again, being the focus on block, focus combos. Smaller things being think about where you're pressing when you're getting hit a little bit more. And the spacing of your buttons. Doing it with a... I don't know if a bit more intent is the right word, but a bit more awareness of where you're going to end up before you press that button. Because Assault covers a decent amount of space. And yeah. If this is your first time here, welcome, first of all. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask in chat, or if they pop up later, if you're rewatching this at another time and another question pops up, please just ping me in the server. And I will gladly reiterate anything I said that may have been confusing, or answer any other curiosities you have that may have been unrelated to anything I said. Just things that happened in the set. This is a learning resource. So if things I'm saying are not making sense, please ask me to clarify, because if not, we're kind of wasting both our times, and no one wants that. I want to make sure the time I'm investing is useful for you. So on that note, Tom, I think I'm going to go ahead and get us towards the next match. And again, if you have any further questions, please let me know. The next one I think is Headwind versus Adwin, sorry. Yeah, Adwin versus Open Lobby. Beginner to middling intermediate Open Lobby, if anyone in chat wants in. Who do you usually play with or go even with shoes? Because for whatever reason right now I'm like really struggling to place place where I think you play. I have like a range that I can't narrow down. And sorry, to answer your question, HMAD is not this one or the next one, but the one after. Even-ish with the wit? Let's try it. Hop on in. And if it's very clearly not a good option, we can just refresh and say, we'll find another gamer. Alright, intermediate, change thought process. Shoes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Confirm off the hits. All your systems is under pressure. She's running away. One thing I do kind of want to say off rip, Edwins, is when you're landing on someone, like, when you expect to be standing, or a lot of these situations you're pressing jump medium punch, a jump light punch would give you a ton more advantage. Yeah. Old head popping up for the one time. Good block on the overhead. You get a charge. I agree. Oh! When she doesn't hit a puddle, it's not actually going to go full screen, so you could have swung there. But it's... I know it's scary. Alright, this matchup is annoying. Unfortunately, the projectiles aren't going to actually help you all that much in terms of neutral, because she can just beam and clear them. Footsies. What do you do on hit? Unfortunate drop. Mix. Why did I drop? What? And he definitely feels a little unconfident. Spaghetti. Okay.
All right, show's over.
I think we can get some good advice from the shoes. Let's go. I'll definitely keep an eye on it, but that is going to need to be said if you keep dropping that a little bit of work needs to go into combos. I'm sure you already know this. You've been around a while, you know how de-rusting goes. It's part of the process. Are you using elbow? Pretty sure you can punish Shuriken on that. One thing, okay, there it is. I'm not saying you do a lot, is mix in a bunny, especially when you're full screen. Probably could have afforded to hit the assist a little bit more. I kind of want to see you just... I was going to say spend 2 bar to get out. This is a bit riskier. why did that dive kick with? God, Squidly, why are you the way that you are? In terms of the Marie neutral, stun heavy punch is a good button, but it's not a solution to everything. I think you can be afford to play a bit more passive or pensive and try and have a bunny or beam or hill guard behind you before you run in and just contest space with heavy punch. Because while it does control space, if you whiff, it's kind of feels bad. And right now you're kind of just whiffing it. Now that they're recognized as a button you press a lot. So you can use that respect to, again, set up more zoning or try and get a little closer and land on them with jump up punch. Because that button is really good for doing that. It's Murray. It's just another Valentine jump medium punch. Or very similar to Annie jump medium punch. Very good to land on people with, or if they try and block it, you drag them to the ground. It's a really good offensive tool. If you know they're going to be forced to block it.
Time for your physical.
Let's do this in one take. Showtime.
Good night, girl. That's what I would say. One thing I do want to say in general, Adwins, I feel like your push blocks are pretty late. There might be something to focus on speeding up a little bit. There are arguments always to not push blocking at all or delaying your push blocks and seeing what happens, but default keeping yourself safe habit, I want to encourage you to try and push block a little bit earlier. This child is just... If you haven't gotten the Umbi experience before, welcome to Modern SG. That's a good first. She will run at you. Good luck. First, don't hold any of that. Yeah, it's tough. The matchup's hard. They called you out on your super jump, and then you're kind of just stuck in a coin flip. It's tough. You might have been able to try and Pillar of Creation, but I have a feeling it would have traded and you wouldn't have had enough life. So it is what it is.
Time for your physical.
Time to put on a show. Action.
Another thing, Adwins, is if you can set yourself up to be in a position to press stand heavy punch or jump heavy punch and call your assist, that is a really strong way to contest that space. That is what iControl does a lot with Seracopter, and obviously that's a bigger assist. But you can still do that with DNB if you're encouraging them to stay on the ground, or if they're contesting you in the air, you can call your DP assist. Obviously this means you can't have spent your double jump or your medium kick or have super jump into the position you do it. We gotta push block earlier. Unless you're really trying to punish that. Oh no, it didn't restand. Oh, a little too early. She's a light. You didn't quite get your punch charge. TP? Oh, you can get a confirm off that by singing. That's so unfortunate. I am sorry. There is definitely a situation where doing SBO into Stinger or the Beam is probably a pretty good out for the most part. Because you kind of want to bail. Now you take that risk and it's tough. Choose, why are we not killing? You have 5 bar. We do not need DBFC in this game. This game would be awful with input delay. I'm sorry. I don't know why Orange File has stayed the way it is. I'm biased as a solo player, but man, it's toxic. If Orange Vial ever gets you to neutral and you have a way to like DHC out, just do it. It's not worth it. Like. And thankfully, Adwins, your team does have a decent amount of ways to kind of get annoying things on screen. Or even Marie can just like whiff her giant sky punch super and recover because it recovers insanely quickly. There's no way this is. Oh, especially if it drops. Yeah, again, landing on them with jump light punch would do so much more for your offense. Oh, don't do that in their face. That is terrifying. I mean, unless you're really certain you have them conditioned. I don't think I've seen you do the plus on block twirl, actually. Obviously, you need to pay attention to when they push block so you don't get PVGC'd, but... Oh. Yep, she's starving. Your turn. Okay, partial charge. Yeah. I wish I could tell you how to fix those dive kick issues, but I have them too. Oh, Sing there! Sing Daisy. That's a classic. Just instead of stance, I'll walk at them with charge. Or walk at them and sing. I love doing that. Good defense. Oh! Did she low profile your jab? That would have been the perfect time to PBDC. That was a good push ball. Good man. I mean, this one's just tough. AO? A little too late on the jump heavy punch. Good punish. Oh, yeah, you can't use that second stun heavy punch. Oh. And you got sometimes hard here. Gotta be careful about extending that far on block, especially if they're consistently push blocking you that early. Okay, so for Adwins, there's a lot of stuff, just like general neutral. I kind of talked about scattered in there, and I cannot recap everything. So it's kind of just gonna be a rewatch and piece together the advice. On top of that, the two biggest things, it felt like your block strings were, I don't know if I want to say autopilot-y, but they were consistent and too long. So again, kind of going back to the advice I had just been talking about, either trying to hit confirm with your first 2 or 3 hits, so ideally not extending past a medium, or having a game plan to use assist to cover yourself for going later. And also knowing what you have that's plus on block, because so you, like in that instance you were trying to do it with what's her name, Annie, but you're getting PBGC sawed, and so I was like, you're plus but you're going too far in that block string. And if you notice them fishing for saw like that, well, first you know they're fishing for an early push block, so you can attempt to run up, do nothing, and push block bait, or you can again stop on a medium, respect their PBGC, and either call an assist to cover the PBGC window, or just hard call it out and say, if you do saw, I can counter hit you for this. And so that's just going further down the rabbit hole of understanding what the problems with your block strings are. So in terms of Marie, you are pretty frequently doing XYZ into the overhead, into usually like an assist call. I want to say you did bunny in their face once, which if you've conditioned them not to press is alright, but that's still scary and like low-key reactable, unless you're really in their head. I don't know if I saw you use the plus on block tackle all that much. The M tackle, which is honestly a really good tool to keep extending your pressure if you want to do that. Or you can just let them push block you and go back to playing up and away, because that is a good default Marie game plan. Again, I think the Marie could use a little bit more bunny. But again, that's more specific stuff that is better to just watch through that. The other big thing, the biggest thing I think I want you to focus on is I want you to encourage you to push block a little bit earlier. You are usually waiting a good 1.5, 2 seconds before push blocking. If you can like try and push block the second or third hit or relatively quickly, I think that will help your defense a lot, keep people off of you. This is not a hard and fast rule. It will not always be the best option. Whichever push block habit you choose has exploitations. That I will say. But this is a very good default to be able to then make changes from. So you can then go, okay, I'm going to omit push block here. Afraid of being baited is pretty fair, but I would argue you are waiting a bit too long. Lack of reaction. Yeah, I mean, it's... And like you said, you're afraid of being baited, so you really don't want it to be preemptive. But past a certain point, you're gonna need to take at least a little bit of risk there. And again, if you notice a player is going for push block baits, so a player like Full Bleed really likes to try and do that to me, that is where you start omitting things and mashing in the gaps, or like, it's a valid concern. I would just rather it be an adaptation than your default, because I think as a default, push blocking earlier will help you a little bit more. So those are the two biggest things I think I'd point towards. And then the final little tack on is, again, I know you're de-resting, so you already know this, but saying it just to say it, combo consistency can help a little bit, but I know you know how to fix that. You've been playing this game for a while. You're de-resting. It is what it is. And unless you have any other questions, I think I'll be getting ready to move on. Yeah, squiggly dive kicks also just... Honestly, I feel you, like, on a personal level for that. Sometimes they just don't work, and I know you need to... I know it has something to do with the amount of hits you let jump medium kick rock for, but I never understand how to actually fix it properly. I know where it goes wrong, but I don't know why it goes wrong there. If you could find, like, I'm sure if you pinged Yo-Yo, they might be able to explain it a lot better. I do not understand Squiggly to that level, unfortunately. There are ways to stabilize it, it's just annoying. And yeah. I feel you there. Those dive kicks whiffing is just like flashbacks to every single time that's happened to me. I can't spell king. Oh, wait, no. That was kind. Oh, I almost pinged the wrong person because we have King Doppio and King Droid, so King D isn't good enough. Versus Ace Detective. Okay. Yeah, and it's kind of just like one of those things where combos are combos. It's like I trust if you have the time to dedicate to it, you'll get there. So it's just kind of like, it sucks, but it is what it is. No one's gonna be perfect with combos, especially coming back from de-resting or coming back off a break. It doesn't necessarily have to be a mix-up. Sometimes keeping yourself safe is the biggest priority. But the comment was mostly to encourage you to have a thought process for it. Wait, did I... Whoa, the trade! King Droid versus Big Band and Beowulf specifically, you get a silver cord confirm anywhere, even uncharged. Very good to know versus these characters. Mix. No. Oh, no punish. Oh, that's dangerous. I'm not punishing that. That should have been a dead character. Oh, undoes he? Maybe not dead. Woo. Oh, that got me backdash. Good mash. Don't get anything more from it. How do you run this pressure? Okay, you just wanted the damage and didn't quite get it. Oh, you're up backing after that? I guess it's Bella. Keep track of your IPS. Pop, pop, pop. Meterless. Alright, how do you run incoming? Patient. That's a lot of jumping ace. King Droid! Oh, you went for it all. I know we've talked about these contras before. And I might play Squiggly versus one of the next open lobbies, depending on if we actually get people. So I can probably give you Squiggly examples, even though my Squiggly is a little sketchy. Squiggly v Robo is annoying, but if they get too beam happy, depending on the beams they're doing, you can just do uncharged Sing SBO and counter hit them. Wake up, press a button, get hit, and explode because you're playing versus your own band. Oh. You don't have OTG. That sucks. Unfortunate job. Bonk, bonk. I would have loved King Droid if you had done Daisy and to get a charge, yes. Oh. Might be time to work on those charge gaining routes, King Droid. Very important. Ace, I know it's kind of hard to make that call, but if Squiggly is ever whiffing her dive kick, or if it's hitting your assist, by all means, just swing, because there's nothing she can do. Oh, spaghetti. Okay, gonna pay a bit more attention to Ace Detective because I've been focusing mostly on King Droid for these first couple of games. King Droid, I think good assist calls would help you a lot in terms of your pressure. Because right now you're doing a lot of pressure solo. Mix. Alright, kill this character. Oh, didn't count on Dizzy right. Oh, spend it! Spend it and get the corner confirmed. Love that assist one. Hey, how are you running offense? Are you gonna spend it? Kill it here? Self-record. After that self-record King Droid, I would have loved if you just did an instant heavy dive kick. Then just got the corner. Self-record? I don't think they're dead. That was supposed to reset, wasn't it? You're fine here. Take back to the corner. Good reaction. Effective. Alright, kill this character. Yeah, it's squiggly. It's squiggly. No. Ah, this will not kill. Just. Oh. I would have taken the Oki and just gotten your charges. Good night. You could run a better income. I can't remember. Did you get? How are you somewhat consistently losing the Bellamere detective? What is going on here?
Hang on to your hat.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Fist bump, bro. Alright, close down the space. Oh, King Droid, you lane canceled that. It was your turn to get a punish. That sucks. King Droid, up forward, jump light punch there is probably better. Jump light punch is a really good up forward button. One thing I kind of want you to take note of, Ace, is where Kingdroid is using Mary Gorilla, because you don't use it all that often, and they're placed really well. That's just a great replay to watch to see where you could be using it yourself. Download. How do you deal with Squidly? That bit's kind of annoying. Good defense. Don't spend it, I agree. I think you can kill off of this. You don't know what you do to pick up. You are a jumpy lad. Jumping and pressing there is a really risky Ace.
Everybody mind your marks. Action.
Box into the corner, check out, caught low. Oh. Surprise a little bit zone. These drops are a little tough. So, one of the only times I'm going to encourage you to use Squiggly Tag to bail out of situations is if you know it's going to hit an assist. If it's going to hit an assist, it makes comboing you afterwards really sketchy. Oh, your light got eaten. And you get hit with a low pressure blow. That happens. Ace, we gotta work on recognizing our ranges, being close enough for that. Get charge. I wouldn't walk that far away. I know you might be afraid of them pressing a button on incoming, but just don't run an incoming that can lose to jump like it. You gave them a ton of pressure, or you gave up a ton of pressure by walking that way. Okay, so for Ace, I think the things for me, in terms of points to work on, are going to be implementing MGR a bit more into your offense / neutral, because I feel like you don't use it quite enough. And I know it's a scary tool to use more because on whiff you can get hit. But once you recognize you've conditioned your opponent, it's very, again, watching Kingdroid to learn how to use MGR, it's straight up in these games, is going to be very useful for you in terms of getting an idea of when and where to use it. That, I think, will help a lot, because that kind of felt like why Droid was winning the point war a lot, was they just used command throws better, and you were getting caught. And obviously there were a couple other things, like people's elbows, blah, 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 blah. But one of the biggest ones just felt like there was no downside to down backing in front of your face. Or not even in front of your face, because MGR reaches really far. It has a lot of threat at a good range. So I'd recommend trying to implement that a bit more. Especially because you, as the Brass player, Brass really encourages people to just weather the storm. And if you catch them down backing in front of Brass, you can MGR them before the Brass forces them to block, and you get a cheeky hit that way. Same thing with Diamond Drop. Obviously, you need to be a bit closer. But if you get used to understanding what times your opponents typically are down backing, it's a very good time to start trying to implement throws a bit more. Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest one for you. I want to say you're pretty jump happy, but I mean your team has really good air buttons and not necessarily the best grounded neutral. Yeah, I don't know. I need to watch it again to give you more other advice outside of your Bella combos when you're using 2 medium kick. Try and get really used to that spacing because you dropped there so many times. That was like the one really problematic area for your combo game this set. My chat SMH. Yeah, it do be like that sometimes. On to King Droid. So Copters are a really good assist for pressure. It's not about the light reaching, it's about the medium kick follow up afterwards, and you just weren't in range for that to hit follow up. And so you do 2 medium kick run stop and get mashed on because the 2 medium kick never knocked them into the air. So it wasn't the spacing of the light to continue, it was the spacing for the medium afterwards. But yeah, so for Droid, you're right. Copter is really good for running pressure and like getting hits. You're gonna want to reset really early if it hits early because it scales you insanely hard to the point where your damage afterwards is kind of peanuts. Like it's not great. So I want you to reset earlier after those hits and maybe think twice about using Daisy after even, because again, you're so scaled, you're getting a lot more limited return off of that meter spent than you otherwise might be. That was one of the biggest things. I liked a lot of what I was seeing for the Bella. The Bella, again, I feel like could facilitate her offense a bit more with assist calls. The second you force them to block or call DNB in their face, like I was just talking with Ace Detective, it doesn't quite have the threat power that Brass does, but a lot of people take a second to respond to an assist calling in, and one of the default waiting responses is down back. Force them to block something, maybe even run stop in their face, and like call your assist at the same time, and then just command throw them, because they're like, oh, block string into assist. I'm just holding this. And all of a sudden, before they're forced to block it, grip. And it's just one of those things that, like, you have a lot of ways to facilitate more by calling D&B a bit better. You can use it to cover PBGC options, where it's like, you can then have your point block while your assist gets punched. But especially like versus Bella Bands, they have no safe DHCs, they have no safe way to mash. So you either say, mash here and I'll counter hit you for a little bit of damage on my assist, or hold this and my assist instantly puts you into block stun, where I get to then pressure behind it again. So I think there was one example where you did a block string and then right before you got push blocked, you called it, so they were forced to hold the DNB even after the push block, and I was like, that's really good. Stuff like that. Try and emulate that a little bit more, and it might help to watch players like SG Hen or Triv who use DNB to kind of like get an idea of how you can call that assist and block strings for different characters and translate that over to Bella. The final thing for Squiggly King Droid is I want to encourage you to learn a little bit better routing. I think you're at a point where that might be one of your biggest hurdles in terms of you're kind of just leaving damage on the table. So again, that comes to resetting early off of Copter confirms, getting charged solo, and I think blah blah blah, using charged Mortis early in corner confirms if you don't have a charge, using heavy punch into tremolo, quarter circle forward heavy kick. I forget which one it is. I think that's tremolo, yeah, because that's technically optimal starter in that situation. You can get a bit more damage on the table doing all that. So that being said, let's get HMAT in here. And we have an advanced open lobby. If no one wants it, I'll just run it. Yeah. And then Okay, let's go Raisin. Sure. There was one final thing where it was, I think you can use charge a bit more and a bit more aggressively. I don't think I saw you once threaten sing SBO on reaction or sing Daisy to catch someone really respecting your push block pressure. This open lobby has been claimed if HMAD pulls up, which I know they were here. HMAD. Can't believe you've done this. Yeah, it definitely is weird in the band matchup because of how Giant Step works. You need to be a bit more careful with the opportunity, or you can't be as careless because you can get caught out starting it up. But like if you're doing a block string where you would, like you expect to get push blocked, so you do light, medium, heavy punch into stancil in quotes, and they usually push block the heavy punch. If instead of doing a stancil, you just do medium sing, walk forward while holding it, and time your sing till after the push block, all of a sudden, if they're not jumping instantly, into the ground with you. Stuff like that. You can kind of play those mind games, and then once they're like, once they go start recognizing, oh, you're doing the hold sing, that's where you cancel, like you show it just long enough, cancel it early, and then when their push block ends, you time a low, and they get stuck in pre-block, and then they're getting mixed. So like you can use that to facilitate your you can use that to facilitate your offense, make it a lot more threatening, give them a lot more things to worry about. We got gamers in here. Grip. Counter hit throw. Oki. 2025. No push. Well. Oh yeah, the big middle fist. Gotta be very careful about using that button with brass. I feel he was a parasol player. Take the corner. Yes, sir! Kill this guy. And again, I would love to reiterate for anyone who's participated, if you have any further questions, please, by all means, ask in the channel. Preferably with a timestamp if it helps. Oh my god, that still kills. Okay. Oh. No, GG. Huh? You mistimed that pretty bad, H-Man. This isn't bad. Confused. Still not dead. Actually, never mind. 3 bar. I didn't realize you got the 3rd bar. Bop, 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 bop. Okay, Ishmat, how did that game get away from you? That's honestly the curious case of HMAD games. You do a good job getting the point, like, these, you tend to win the point more, and then it's just the continuation of pressure. So what is actually going on? That just sucks. Yeah, armor there isn't gonna do much to save you. Yeah, just I think I might have wanted to see the DHC. Save the bail, because I'm not getting a combo after that. After that brass hit. Yeah, just a little too antsy in terms of pressing there. If you're not going to press immediately, it might be more worth repositioning. Huh? Also, right, you just said that doesn't work on band and then did it again. Is anyone upstairs? That's the concho. Okay, try that. There you go, cookies. Again, do be careful about going for that versus a band, because, or versus a brass. Because that's a button that's just like, you pressed it as they called it, and you're kind of just screwed. Okay. Spend it. Take the corner back. You know, H-Man, I feel like I don't see you jail that much at like any default spacing for the corner, like Ito style. I think that might help you. Curious if there's any reason you didn't do, this doesn't work. Didn't do the usual 2 HP one. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, but brass. I feel like I want your band to throw more as well, HMAD. Love that PvPC. Great recognition. God's favorite. Oh, Airwolf! Airwolf! Oh no! He's so ready to react to that fiber. Even just arm. Arm might actually get you the hit, but I was worried the assist would block things. Yeah, take this whole combo. Cheat. Cheat. Sweet. What? I'm so sorry. That sucks. Yeah, add ones. If your burst hits, it doesn't prevent you from alpha countering, so if you have any way to combo off of the burst hit, and then combo off of that, you can get a full hit for your opponent not blocking your burst. Parasol can do similar things with Snipe and any full screen combo DHC. It's very good to have that knowledge about if your team is able to do that, because it enables some really stupid situations. I'll come back to that after I wrap up the advice for HP. I'm assuming that was supposed to be a PBGC and you just didn't get it. Yeah, I can't press there in this matchup, unfortunately. Counter hit, but still caught some life. Good grip. You're still on cooldown, right? That H might be kind of code, I'm sorry. Oh, that was a blue bounce. Okay, so HMAD. Things here. Your Bayo on hit, thumbs up. You got the hit, you killed the character almost every single time. The problems were coming after. So two biggest problems felt like running your advantage state after Beowulf got the hit. So again, I wish I understood Annie better to give you more concrete advice. And this might be replays to send to Ito and ask, or any other Annie player like Ryuki. I don't know if you have like working relationship with them in terms of asking for advice. But Komodo, true. Very, very true. I always forget Komodo's playing this game because he's not competing, but he's always ready. But it's just like, it feels like your advantage state relatively consistently gets away from you when you're running incoming with Annie. And so again, you have a couple different options where you can do the jail mode where it's like, I'm gonna sit at my spacing ranges and with punish you getting antsy or stand by 6 heavy punch range. And then use that in combination with Bayo 2 HP assist to lock them down, really make them afraid to press anything. And once you have them like that, then you can start doing the dash up low, dash up throw. Because you don't need to dash up all that far, because all of those options are really good. It was just like, again, I want to send you to any actual players who run these offenses rather than me trying to theory craft the ones that work, because it's just, I can't fully tell you what's not right outside of just what you're doing doesn't feel like it's presenting much of a threat and consistently has the game run away from you in those situations. And whether that's, again, playing a bit more patient, running immediate incoming, dragging them to the ground, and then doing high-low throw off of that. Ruby, does Bayo 2 HP assist pull out of the corner? It doesn't, right? You could also tag into Band, or Bayo, depending on the ending hit. That is true. But yeah, it's probably worth time going into replay takeover or training mode and like try and lab out some well thought out Annie incomings. And more than just the initial hit, try and have a couple like sequences. And so like the reason I asked if Bayo 2 HP pulls out of the corner is one of the things I was thinking of is if you could do like meaty to medium punch into pressure on the ground and to call Bayo 2 HP to react to whenever they push block, which if that pulls them out of the corner slightly, you can then threaten IED jump heavy punch as a way to steal the corner as another threat option outside of just an instant overhead. Yeah. Just like really try and get a solid thought process for running your Annie incomings. Because that feels like where the games you're winning really tend to run away from you. Yeah, do just call Bayo 2 HP and sit. Or super jump over them and have the delayed hit cross up as well. It's like you have a lot of different options that are worth exploring that I think will help facilitate your just snowball game plan. And yeah, today felt a little rough. Especially the Annie. The Bayo was doing Bayo things and kind of just getting caught out. But that's my second big point, which is figuring out your game plan versus Brass. Which, if you have one, wasn't coming across very well, or Ray was playing around it well. It felt like Brass shut down a lot of what you were trying to do slower with Stand Heavy Punch and all that sort of stuff, because Brass is Brass. And so figuring out what different options you want to do. If you want to, instead of trying to go for 5 HP, if you want to try and go for 2 HP and then try and reaction, Suki cancel, block the big band. So it's just like, or try and time a sweep sort of deal. It's those options are really hard. I'm not going to hold you. But other passive options are like up back and then try and counter call with Knuckle. And if you chicken blocked it and then the fortune drags you to the ground, you can try and react with H chair afterwards. And it's like try and build a thorough game plan for dealing with that sort of stuff. Those are the two biggest issues I saw with that set. Yeah. And Ray, because it was an open lobby, I wasn't actually focusing too much on you, unfortunately. The drops were tough. The choice to super instead of snap and double snap was question marks to me. I'm not. I hope that was a misinput. That was. Yeah. Other things. Throw is really good for Fortune versus Beowulf because you have a really easy mid-screen throw confirm with L-Fiber. So it's food for thought. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I have too much else in terms of advice for you. What else is going on that set? Just didn't go for it? Fair enough. I mean, you have Fortune normals. Alright. Let's go, Suki. I said I'd play Squiggly. So let's do this. This is not the team I was expecting, Suki.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Thanks, Butchers. Oh, good. Good jump, light punch. Oh my god. Okay, we're just doing overhead. Understood. No respect. My throw was too late, are you kidding me? Hi, do you have these? Do it into a light? Yeah, they got landing frame.
One more once.
Can I have a cheeseburger?
What a train. Whoops. That's oops, daisies. That doesn't break the armor. That's good. Nice cross up. What did you think I was gonna do? Yeah, I don't jump out. That's fine. Oh, that low profile that I should have done. Okay. Please be close enough. Nope. Oh, that's unfortunate. I just wanted up forward plus assist. I tapped forward, game. What? Do it again. Yeah, I have an assist. Oh, you just brassed. I was not thinking you'd send it like that. Also, to answer your... I didn't take a break to answer your question about not extending past mediums. I kind of get to cheat a little bit with this team because I can mix in L-shot or call my assists. So again, like, there are more options than just don't end on a medium, but I want that to be your default. And so you'll see my Parasol will tend to do 2 LP, 2 medium kick. And then sometimes I'll mix in an L-shot, sometimes I'll mix a heavy punch afterwards into L-shot. For Eliza, I really do try to end on 2 medium punch. If I'm not going further into my block string and trying to call other things. So it's like, it's not the end-all be-all of offense and keeping yourself safe, but it is a really good default habit to start with to then branch out into actual offensive options. While, again, being a really good baseline that doesn't let you get hit. It's just a really good, safe starting point of keeping yourself safe and then expanding from there. Okay, I need to... That was supposed to be M-shot plus assist, game. Good defense. Fingers hit the assist, I agree. What? Oh, wow, that was so fast. What? You go overhead a lot. I did not get my assist. That sucks. Bands? Up forward, okay, impressive. No! Ah, that sucks. I didn't get my SBO. Yeah, kill me. I'm pretty sure I could have domed you for that. Go. Oops.
One more one.
It is possible to PBGC throw. You can do any option.
Showtime.
Back to assist. Right, that doesn't combo. Cross up. Skilled. Spend it in DSC. Fair enough. Okay. I mean. Oh my. Nope. So again, like they're ending on my medium as part of my hit confirm. Be careful about landing with that air throw. Oh, you're gonna explode if I just drop. Oh no! I'm gonna just... This doesn't work? It does. Okay. Again, almost all of these options are going overhead. What? What? The follow-up didn't hit? Again, almost always overhead.
Positively delightful.
So close.
I kept on getting push block baited by Gato somehow. I was trying to do push block into reaction PBGC caught, but I kept just getting PB baited.
One more once.
I'm really bad about outright mashing, especially on characters that aren't Parasol. I need to do it more. Again, you're jumping and going overhead a lot. Okay, that one felt roll back. Yeah, fair enough. good. How greedy are you gonna be? Because low-key, I kind of wish you spent 2 bar and kept to the corner with keeping Bella in. Okay. Good jump, boys. Again, going overhead just a little too much. I'm so sad. They press it in neutral, they don't press it out of mix. Okay, so yeah, I started with. Oh, did I give you 6 games? Whoops, I can count. Okay, so biggest thing off rip, too many overheads. The really strong answers for your characters, or not answers, they're really strong options for your characters. But if you're not representing the other threats, I don't need to worry about them. So like versus Fortune, I stopped worrying about the low, and I was going, okay, I'm reacting to overhead or I'm reacting to cross up, because that's what you did. And if you ever just did a delay Fortune 2 light kick, I was gone. Like I you were hitting me, I was cooked. Same thing with throw, because I wasn't up backing, I was straight up just stand blocking, because I'm weird and that's how I play the game. So you need to represent the other options in order for those to be really strong tools. And in general, I think Fortune, you should be running at Parasol on the ground a bit more. You don't need to worry about any shots besides M shot. You can call Brass to negate M shot. Once, like, if you're close enough, you just run in behind it. I can't jab check you, you run under it. If you're really good at spacing, it's really hard for me to use 2 medium punch because your 2 light kick can kind of catch me as I'm going for it. Staying on the ground versus Parasol is honestly not bad. As Fortune, specifically. You can also check me at range with stand heavy punch a bit more and use Brass like behind that sort of deal. So there were a lot of those options. I really liked the Bella, how you were using up forward jump light punch. You were cooking me with that. That was really well done. I was not ready to deal with those at all. What else was the Bella doing? Bella was doing a lot of jump to medium punch, which in a vacuum, really good option. Mix in lows a little bit more. Use her 6 heavy punch, especially if you're in range to check my zoning a little bit. And again, like versus Parasol, staying on the ground, and Reflect is a weird tool versus Parasol, because it's like, if she does shot and you do Reflect, she blocks it, push blocks you, and then you kind of get to dash up, and it's like even, but you have momentum towards her sort of deal, but you can then start playing mind games about, am I going to Reflect this? Especially if there's a tier in place. So I like to do a lot of toss. If there's a tier in place, you can kind of sit on it right before it's about to det and go, ooh, like get me antsy about not doing anything because there's gonna be a reflector on the way, and then you can either reflector or right before it pops, like super jump out of the way, sort of deal. So you have those options. Bella can also use jump heavy punch really well as a mobility tool if she has something like brass behind her, because what am I gonna do? if you use the momentum to glide in behind brass, it's like I can't hit you. Get closer. And just in general versus me, because I'm not an upbacker, command throws work very well versus me, and I feel like you didn't use it all that often. Yeah, and then I don't know if I have any major advice for the band. Didn't need to, fair enough. What was the band doing? Yeah, I don't know if I have much to say for the band. I felt a little nervous, but you're also playing against Parasol with Butchers, or like Squiggly with Butcher. Like, it's so annoying for band to do anything. I don't know if I have much band advice, unfortunately. Look, I'm not gonna say it. I'll let you say it, I won't say it. I'm here to be productive. Yeah, band... Door stuck. That's kind of the tale of the band. It is what it is. Yeah, if you want more advice, because I was honestly focusing kind of hard on playing, please just let me know and I'll rewatch it and kind of like give you another rundown. And I want to make sure... Oh no, it was Adwins. I thought it was someone else. Okay, so Adwins was around to actually hear me respond to the 2-hit block string thing. Which I can actually demonstrate right now really quick. I'll do it with Parasol and Eliza, because those are the two characters I'm the most comfortable doing it with. What are my push block sounds? I don't have you blocking instantly. Can I have you random? Yes, I can. Reaction shot, second hit. This was following up on a question Adwins had earlier about like the advice for beginners to try and not go beyond 2-hit block strings. So, that was slow. That wasn't slow. But so again, like, Parasol gets to cheat as well as it's a team game. So I can... Oh, block for me. I can call my assist there and facilitate a block string, sort of. I should view this before? What? Showed, okay. But so it's like, as a Parasol, I can kind of do that and react to the push block, although, honestly, that's not a good time to shot versus Annie. But so, like, I can do shot there, as a option, but it would also have been fine if I just did that. Well, actually, it's not for Parasol. Parasol's weird. It is for medium kick. It's -4, so it's safe. I need to be particular about which ones I use. So if I do end up going into that, I need to find a way to bail out, which assists change. And then again, so like for Eliza, this is a really good hit confirm because you have tons of time to confirm off the medium kick, or medium punch. And so this is like if you're push blocking. If they're not push blocking, that allows me to stay close, and then it sort of kind of becomes a frame trap situation where it's like block. Actually, I showed the hit confirm. I don't need them to be random now. Always. So it can be like that. And so from here, I can go and do that to keep it my turn. I can just do this. Again, I'm -2, so if they press here, I lose. That's -9. If they push block me, I'll show you something I really commonly do with this character. I do something like that to kind of jail them. And if they're patient, they can push block me again, and then I'm at this range, and they've kind of fought their way out. So there's a give and take to both. But the basis of all of this is thinking about your block strings and keeping yourself safe on block, which is, again, the recommended. Try not to go too far into your block strings without thinking about it at least. Do I still have these? Ah, that was too late. Actually, wait, if I do this, I'm just supposed to skip the video. I keep on doing that late, right? But yeah, I gotta wrap up because Swift Fox asks for games, and I feel like I've been ghosting him. Every time he asks, I'm like, no, I'm good. So I gotta wrap this up. All right. Is there anyone to raid? I'll figure this out. I'll put the video up. Whatchamacallit? Again, highly recommend. If you have any questions, if you want me to relook at things and go over it with a finer tooth comb, a better lens, whatever, anything I said didn't make sense, all of the above. Any questions whatsoever about any advice I gave to anyone, please, what's it called? Shoot me a ping in the server, timestamp if necessary, and I'll gladly reiterate anything. Rapid fire through events. So this week, for us, we are back to our usual. We've got Be Great, which will be I think it'll be a side event this week. Not confirmed, but we'll try and get that up by tomorrow. Thursday, VOD review. Next Saturday, Get Great again. Other events. Not Wednesday. Thursday, Mixed Masters. It's on Thursdays. We know this. Thursdays, 8 p.m. EST, signups close early. Tomorrow is the Hunters Pay Your TOs event. Show up, claim coupons, donate if you can, help your TOs get to Combo Breaker. Show up for some good SG, it's going to be a good bracket. Next Saturday is Ruby Rumble. Show up, show some love, donate if you can. Half the proceeds go to charity, half the proceeds go to the prize pool. It's for a good cause. It means a lot to Ruby, it means a lot to us because it means a lot to Ruby. So please show up if you're able to. Give a little, it helps. Every little bit helps. yeah, that's it for the next week. I'll get the video up and throw y'all somewhere. Have a good night, everybody.
And my spectator.
That's okay.
Oh,
Second
ooh.
camera.
Oh, nice! Ooh!
Oh, we avoided
Let's go.
it. Nice.
Oh, let me see it.
Hey,
Hey,
the combo?
hey, hey.
you finished this.
That's,
They died.
that's somewhat of a combo,
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, they're dead.
We're missing a few more parts to it, but
Yeah.
We got Abomination.
It's like we have some bombas, but like our knowledge of the mechanics of the game are not exactly there just yet.